You're tuned into directly, a dose to the real, kicking it with some real, and giving it to you directly. Shout out to you, the real ones. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and follow. Follow us on IG at the Directly Pod. Got the gang with me today. My boy 420. 420, what's up?
What up? What up? What it do? You already know what it is.
And of course, our boy Rockstar.
Yo! What it do? What it do?
Why this guy's so loud?
Rockstar in the place, man. You know, I gotta make sure my intro come out nice. I gotta be better, y'all.
I'm telling you. All right, we got family rocking with us today. Our boy BlackHat. BlackHat, you don't have anything as hype as LA. Trust me. Ain't none of us have that.
No, man, I don't have that type of energy. But yeah, well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. Let's do this.
All right, let's do this. So this is going to be a very interesting conversation, a very interesting discussion, because today we're going to talk about happy wife, happy life.
Ooh, those are touchy subject, man.
Happy wife, happy life. So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna break it down and figure out where this came from. Is it true? How do we feel about it as men? Right? And who knows? Is there any of us that feels like we agree with that statement? Happy wife, happy life. Where do you guys stand? What about you, 420?
Do I agree?
Yeah.
I don't know if I totally agree. I just feel like you both gotta be happy. That's my main thing, is that both people gotta be happy. So you can't spend your whole life just pleasing the other half.
Yeah. You can't spend your whole life pleasing the other half. We both gotta be happy. What about you, LA?
Absolutely not. Bring that. Listen, I'm gonna tell you guys straight off the point. Happy life is happy life. That's it.
Happy life is life.
Happy
Simple.
life. Straight point. You both gotta be happy. There's no such thing as one-sided. One person's happy, the other one must be miserable.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can't say that I agree that the other one must be miserable if the other person's happy, right? But what about you, BlackHat? Happy wife, happy life. How you feeling about that?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
And the wife isn't next to me either. But
happy wife, happy life.
yeah.
No shackling going on.
No shackling going on.
Yeah.
So, in other words, you're not speaking under duress.
No.
All right.
What about you?
What about me? I'm definitely a hell no on this happy wife, happy life thing. I don't believe in signing up for a life of servitude, right? And that's what that seems like to me. I do. Now, BlackHat and I were talking earlier, so I understand what he means when he says that he agrees with happy life, happy wife. Happy wife, happy life. It won't even come out. Facts.
Just weren't meant to say that.
Yeah, I have a different, for me, I think that like this is one of those slogans, this is one of those things that it's misunderstood so much, and it helps to kind of invoke other types of behaviors or beliefs that are not good for a community now. So what I mean by that is like happy wife, happy life. It's really us signing up to say, okay, what's going to make us happy for the rest of our life is just doing whatever it takes to make this other person happy, right? And we're going to find our happiness in making someone else happy. Now, it's not against, I don't want to say that I'm against making the other person happy or against, having a happy wife, because obviously I'm going to try to make my wife happy to the best of my ability, right? But if all my happiness is going to be dependent on, right, measured in, or because of my wife's happiness, then I don't know. Once I hear whatever the slogan for the happy husband is, and I measure that out, and I feel like we're balanced, then maybe I can rock it.
Yeah.
You guys are missing the point, though. I think that's what.
All right, so help me out. Help me out, BlackHat, if we're missing the point.
I think what they're really trying to say is like, you get more pleasure in doing for others than you do for yourself. No,
That's
right?
True.
And if your wife is pissed off, the person who is like your better half or your next half, and they're pissed off, there's no way you're gonna have a good day.
Agree.
There's no way you're gonna have a good day because they know how to get under your skin quicker than anyone else, right? So if the wife is happy, then in turn means that you're doing well, she's doing well, and you guys are doing well collectively. It doesn't mean like every day you have to get up to please the one person just to make you happy. That's not what they're trying to say. It's just do for others. You get better feeling in doing for someone else than for yourself.
Okay, so I have no disagreement. I have no disagreement with anything that you said there. This is where him and I were speaking earlier, and I say I agree with it when the understanding, when there's context to this, right? Further context to provide like an understanding for something that I could agree on. This statement, the sentence on its own, happy wife, happy life, it doesn't say all that stuff that he just mentioned. What the stuff BlackHat just mentioned, that's not stuff that could just necessarily leave to be applied just by anybody, whether, any woman, that I'm just going to assume that a woman is going to take happy life, happy wife, happy life.
But any woman isn't their wife.
Ooh.
True.
Like, it says wife. And you can't make any woman your wife and then expect that rule to apply. It's not going to apply for any woman. It says happy wife. So if you chose the right wife, then you're making the right decisions along the way.
So you're saying this only works for people that are married?
No, happy wife. Could be your wifey. Happy wife.
So whatever you're calling your girl.
No. Whatever. If you chose the wrong wifey,
so you're saying if I call a side chick a wifey, it's okay?
No. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm like, that's on you. No. If you think you can make a side chick happy all the time to make your life happy, that's on you. That's
Good
your
luck, brother.
Okay. All right. But see, I get your point. I get your point that you're trying to make in regards to what you said, but
not trying.
Okay, sorry. The point that you made. I get your point that you made. That's cool. But you have to look at it this way. It's perception here. So here's the thing. When you hear the word happy wife, happy life, it means that in order for you to have a happy life, you have to commit to one person. You have to do all things. Here's the way I look at it. Men and women, we have two different ways of thinking. One is logical, one thing more emotional. And yes, when you're dealing with emotions, you have to know how to keep it balanced, right? Whereas logical is black and white. It is what it is, right? Wrong. How to deal with it. So if you have somebody who has an emotional mind state, then you have to know how to balance it. This is where the phrase actually makes sense. And with emotions, I think happy wife, happy life comes from the concept that men, because we have this mindset of like we're like hunters, right? You could say like we're like hunters or predators, and women are like, guys are always chasing women, but just because we chase women hold something that guys might want, like because we're predators, we naturally want things. We want certain things, right? And in a relationship, one thing that guys yearn for is always some form of intimacy, and women actually literally control that. Think about it. Women control that to a certain degree, right? So if you can make your wife happy, guess what you get out of it? You get to have that part of you that is considered intimate, that lets you be, that brings that side of you out, right? Because we're always poor. So if we get a chance to have that little bit of,
so that means you agree with the statement.
I'm not agreeing. I'm saying this is why people think
LA version of that statement either. That carrot dangle. Dangle a carrot on a stick.
Yeah. No. Well, this is why I think the statement is made, but the statement is also not right, because if this person's supposed to be your wife, where I look at it, if this is supposed to be your wife, right, it should be happy regardless. I mean, for better or for worse, right? It should be better or for worse. So if we have a disagreement, why do I always have to come to a conclusion where it satisfies you alone? When do we meet in the middle?
But it's not saying that though. No, that's not what it's saying.
It says happy wife, happy life. It's not saying.
Because if you think about it, if you have the right wife, right? Let's say you have the right wife. We're just going because you made the right decision. It's your wife. Long-term, lifetime commitment here. So it's your wife. If you've made that commitment, then she's gonna have your best interest at heart, just likewise. You know what I mean? So you won't have to think about all that external stuff. She's going to be there for you regardless because you made the right choice.
Absolutely.
And she's also making the right choice on your part.
Absolutely. So that's saying false.
Okay, so you see, this is where him and I.
So should it be like happy couple? Happy
Yeah.
life?
That,
There you go.
no, hold on,
That's
hold
the
on.
thing. I'm agreeing with what you're saying. Your statement is actually correct. I'm not trying to be wrong, but see what I'm getting at is that you're saying that you have the right wife, you have your best thing. Well, the saying only targets one side. It's not saying happy us, it's saying happy wife.
Yeah.
I guess it's a good rhyme. You know,
You guys are taking it far too literal, is what I'm trying to say.
No.
Because you fully explained it and said the intimacy part and the guys hunting and all that.
that's where it came from.
If you don't get that intimacy, like when you want to, or as often as you'd like, or it's gone for like too long, don't you get miserable and pissed off?
Well, why do you think so?
Because it is so.
Because,
if I don't get
because you look at this, the reason I'm saying that is because you know that the other party is not
Happy.
They're not happy. If they're not happy, it creates that. But then that's a false way to that shouldn't be the only measurement. I think this concept came from that idea that most guys had to always take a back seat to anything because they do this to protect the person's feelings.
Listen,
They do it because they don't want to hurt the person. They don't want to offend the person. But at some point, you have to speak up.
BlackHat is speaking from a position of where he's applying certain things because he's speaking of it from just himself. For him, it's going to work because the decisions or the questions that need to be asked, the things that needs to be addressed to kind of make sure that it's the right one, all those things, he's going to make sure he does those things. So when he does whatever he needs to do to make sure he has the right one, and by right one, he doesn't have to worry about that happy wife, happy life. It doesn't really measure to him because that right one for him is going to be too busy looking out for him and putting him and their interest first, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's talking about after you find someone that is moving with you and on that accord.
Like the ideal woman.
Yeah, like that kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is I don't have any objection to what he's actually speaking to the after fact. So like after making that right decision. But the statement itself doesn't speak to making that right decision. Like it's not about that. It's about the fact that it's really telling you, right? Without applying further context so that you could have the understanding that BlackHat coming at it with, right? Is where, you make sure you find the right one. And if you find that one, it's going to put you first anyhow. So you put in her first, she put in you first. There's the balance right there as one, right? So I get where he's saying, right? But the statement itself doesn't say all that. What the statement says and teaches men, and especially with this beta male culture that they're trying to grow us all in, right? What it tells men is that what you should do to best ensure happiness in your life is to do whatever it takes to make sure that she's happy. That's how you find your happy. Happy wife, happy life. So your happiness comes from making sure that she's happy. It doesn't tell you that the reason it comes from making sure that she's happy is because she's also going to find her happiness in making you happy. Not only does it not tell you that, you know who else it doesn't tell? It doesn't tell her that. And there's actually no slogan over there that tells them anything like that. So all that slogan tells them is, yes, make me happy and you'll be happy. What do you mean?
Which isn't true.
You get me? So that's where BlackHat and I have the disagreement in terms of for this, the understanding.
So then you should dig a little deeper then. So the whole concept should be, because it says happy wife, right? So the main thing is choose the right wife.
That could be it right there for the men. Choose the right wife.
Listen, but you know that this idea of choose the right wife is also interesting.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, because the thing that nobody's perfect. You never can find a perfect person.
There is
No. I'm not saying.
There's no perfect wife.
Exactly. There's nobody that's perfect. Every relationship requires some kind of work. Doesn't matter how you look at it.
Now we're doing too much. Now we're hold on. I'm sorry.
No. I'm not doing much. I'm not trying to.
The wife that you chose for you, that makes you happy, that balances you out,
could go wrong.
That's
nobody is perfect.
Wife.
No, she has to be perfect for you.
Yeah, but she could go wrong.
Has to be perfect.
If you believe people are perfect,
go wrong.
Go wrong.
Bro.
Yeah.
People. No. People aren't
That's
perfect.
what I mean. That's
but
all
you
I'm
can't
saying.
tell
That's all
me.
I'm saying.
She could go wrong.
But no one is
She can
perfect.
be. She
Yo,
can
I'm
go
sending her
wrong.
back.
You can choose the perfect wife, though.
Listen,
You can choose
What's the perfect wife?
for you. Everyone is
Yeah,
going
I
to
would
have their
think-
own version of
I would
perfect
think it's what
for them.
my thing is, the reason I'm saying that, I'm trying to come from a logical standpoint, say that nobody is perfect. But the great thing
Right.
about it is that we can work towards it. Perfection doesn't exist, but we can work towards
I'm
it.
not working
And that's what
towards
makes that, that's what
perfection
makes
either
it
like
good.
that.
But that happens as a couple.
No one is working
No,
for
no, but
sometimes I think okay,
that's what a relationship
okay,
is.
for one. The
Yeah,
imperfection
sometimes it's the
makes it
perfection that
makes
that-
it great sometimes.
Exactly.
Sometimes it's the
Yeah, that's what I'm
imperfection
trying to
that
show.
makes it so
It's not
special.
about the perfection.
Right?
it's not,
Right.
a relationship
Right.
is all about building a relationship. So it's a constant learning experience every day that goes by. You're constantly learning something new about. You can be with someone for 30 plus years, and you're still learning things. You know what makes it strong? The fact that every time you look at that person, you learn something new about them. Once you figure out that you know everything about them, you become very complacent. You become stagnant.
Or when one person's going through a struggle, and then you find the other person really supporting that person. That's
Yeah.
when you really find the true love.
Yeah, because that's what relationships all about. It's constantly,
I don't know.
constantly learning
Why,
stuff.
why you guys always have
But
to
it's a
find true
struggle,
love
you
when
know?
people are
Like,
struggling?
man.
Because
Nah, I don't want to know that
that's
love.
the truth.
Keep that love to yourself.
True.
Yo,
I don't care. I don't want to
You
know.
know what?
I don't
You don't want a girl to support you when you're struggling?
Man,
I don't want to be struggling.
Listen,
fam.
It
Keep the struggle,
happened.
fam.
You know that some of the listen,
No one's
they say
ever so
diamond-
nice.
Yeah, no.
I know you guys
I don't want to care about this. I don't want to struggle.
But
listen.
men are
I want
struggling.
to keep it.
Diamond,
Remember, not
diamond has
just
to go
us.
through
We're
pressure.
talking about every man. Mans are struggling, boy. Mans can't even find a gap. Man's looking on social
Oh,
media
man.
more than gap.
Oh, how do-
Yo,
Oh, you guys. Oh, man.
oh my goodness, man! Wow.
Man, struggling.
Yo, where did 420 just went off the rail on that one?
Listen,
Holy no, virus. Yeah.
man, that's why we don't want to. We gotta give these guys some proper wisdom rather than tell them that. We gotta let them know. Pick the right wife. What was it again, BlackHat? Pick the right wife, right? Choose the right wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Choose the right
Good
one.
luck.
Okay.
They didn't say lock out on the right line. Lock out.
Yo, I love this.
What's the divorce
man.
rate?
Oh god.
420 said good luck.
Yo.
Good luck. All right.
All I know is that with the right amount of pressure, you can get diamonds. So sometimes you need to go through those rough patches to see the good.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why? Why
Better
you
put
guys
some
always
insurance
go
on
after the
those
worst?
diamonds.
you got to listen.
You know why though? Guess what? Though? What people fail to understand is that if things are great as well, you can see people's true colors.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be a struggle. Like I don't want it to be a struggle for me to see if the person is right for me. Like let it be so great that I really see their true colors.
But is it always
Like you
great?
know what I mean? I don't care if it's always great, but that's what I'm hoping. Like you know what I mean? I don't want to talk about all the negative stuff.
I'm just saying, a relationship is
like,
not always great.
I feel like BlackHat's tagline should be "Make them great again."
No.
Oh, man.
No. We're not even gonna
Sounds
joke like
a
that.
Darren.
Black, no. We're not going down that road. We're not going down that
Yo,
road.
soundbite.
But because you know what I mean, like if you think about it, like let's say you're in a relationship with someone right now, and one party got like super wealthy, you can see their true colors because they would be like, "Yo, I don't want to be with this person," or "I want to be with this person for the rest of my life." It doesn't have to be a struggle to determine if the person is right for you. You know what I mean?
No, I agree with. I mean, all jokes aside, at the end of the day, I look at it as the saying itself. I mean, I took it like what president. I took it in a way like a self-claim because it's only really pleasing one side. I do look at it as yes, you need to obviously a happy wife does lead to a happy life, but also happy husband also needs a happy life too. Because both parties have a role to play in a relationship, no matter how you look at it. It doesn't matter who's in what position, But I think that far too long people look at relationship like it's like a hierarchy system, and what the way it is that I'm gonna probably reference back to the Bible, but even the Bible says that man is the head of the house, But just because you're the head of the house, the head is useless without the body. None.
Right. So, what my grandmother always says.
So when you have this phrase that goes around that says happy wife, happy life, it sounds good. It's something that's comforting to a woman. It is comforting to a woman, but to a man, it sounds like a challenge that sometimes they can never actually win. The challenge that they will never be able to succeed in, because you're saying that I need to make you happy, to make my life happy. What if I make you happy, I'm doing things that I don't feel comfortable with? You see what I'm saying? So now you're putting the guy in a position where it's a battle. Again, if you're going against somebody you're dealing with where emotions are involved, emotions change day to day. So what makes you happy today
will change tomorrow. It doesn't speak to the fact that it doesn't speak to the fact that like what BlackHat is speaking about is that, yes, you know what? When you choose the right wife, that person that is right for you, they're going to meet you there. So where you don't have any more to give, that's where they're going to hold you up, brace you up, or step in and give them more. I get up.
Or even bet.
They don't even let it get that far. But what I'm trying to show you is, you continue to speak from the position of only making that choice because you know what you're talking about as whatever it's going to take to get to the fact that you make that choice. Let's keep it real. Most of these people out here are lost, right? And they're not choosing the right wife in the sense of like men aren't really looking at what is she bringing to the table. How are we going to be able to build together? It's who likes me that I like, that makes me feel good. It's all like, whatever it is, it's just not everybody's out here making the right choice. So rather than make it an assumption or an if or speculate what it may actually mean, why not just clarify? Choose something better that doesn't come with all these supposed understandings that you're applying to it. Because that's not what it says. That's what LA and I are speaking to. What it actually says is happy wife, happy life, right? Like what it says is happy wife, happy life. What you're speaking about is what it means when you do A or B and C, not what it's actually saying and telling someone to do. Someone else's implication of that is left up to them, right?
If you don't want to choose the right wife, then that's on you.
So, after all that, that's all he said.
I'm not going to argue that. I'm not going to argue that. He's so right.
You better choose the right gal,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Back on social media.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Take some time. Don't just marry the first gal you see.
There you go.
Get to know her.
There you go, man. Nah, it is what it is, man. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes to husband and wife, I always look at it as husband up to a battle. You have to always look at it as the guy has to be, we're protected, right?
The provider, yeah.
We're providers. We have all little other. And don't get me wrong, women can do the exact same thing. There are women out there that just they can hold it down, But naturally, most men are looked at as providers, protectors, and stuff like that. And when you hear all that, come up with a concept like happy wife, happy life. It's almost like, what more do I have to do? Because even in that,
but for us, it's different. Well, for me, it's different.
And
mainly, the reason why I say for me it's different is for like everything that I've ever seen growing up, which I like basically idolize or mold after. They were all females that did it.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I was raised by single parent. My grandmother, aunt. My other mother, like, you know what I mean? It's all female.
Yeah.
So a female taught me how to drive a standard. You know what I mean? A female taught me how to make love. Like, you know what I mean? It's all female. Everything that's important to me, it's a female that tell me. You understand?
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's not a... Because it's not like there's no option. There's not like I got the choice between the two. I'm saying what I was taught.
Yeah.
That's
There
who
was
taught
no like male presence
No, and-
around
and-
at the time.
There was
and that
exactly.
was
So no one. So it wasn't a thing. That's who taught
Yeah.
me.
yeah.
So
And you know what? And it's interesting that you said that, because even for me, growing up, I grew up with all girls. Like I have 4 sisters.
Yeah.
They don't always want to have this idea. Well, here comes the guy to save the day. And my sisters are very like some of my sisters. They're like that, you know. So when I hear the word happy wife, I think of my sisters. I'm like, they don't want guys to come and show their happiness. To them, it's like, listen, if he ain't gonna do his part, I'm good. I can take care of myself, kind of mindset, you know. And like I said, as a guy listening to that saying, it throws me off a little bit, because it gets this idea of like, what more can I do? Because here's the thing: when you get married, right? Getting married, guess what the guy is doing? Stand at the front, essentially waiting the whole time. When the girl walks in, what does everybody do? Everybody stands up. Like, what? You know, it's her day. Even though 2 people are becoming one, it's clearly one person's main day, right? And I don't care what anybody says. If I'm lying, please watch a wedding video to see how it looks. She comes up there. She has her own song that she walks. Has big dress that creates attraction. Because you know what? There's all, even as the guy, you're not even the best man in your own wedding. Somebody else is. All right, let's just be honest. Somebody else is the best man. You're just standing there waiting. Okay?
That's hilarious.
So when the whole night is done, the whole all eyes are on the bride.
It's
The
true.
bride is all eyes on the bride. So when you hear this happy life, like, look at the wedding. It was all for her. You know,
Yeah.
the guy just showed up, make sure he said the right word.
But I think
Literally,
whoever you invite to your wedding is for the both of you guys.
Yeah. So I mean,
But I get what you're saying.
yeah.
It's like her day.
It's her day, and
Like if it gets messed up, you don't care, but she does.
Oh no, if it gets messed up, it's your fault.
Exactly. It's totally your fault.
But I mean, we just need to. I just think that saying just needs to be rephrased a little differently. I think
little
that
more
saying
balanced.
came from. I think that saying was from a bunch of guys who were probably like, I'm probably say the ghetto word simp.
Yeah, that's the young term.
It came from guys that followed like a Derek Jackson, where you know everything is.
They do everything for the gal.
Yeah, and you don't have to say it, but you should. Because real women want a man also hold their freedom. They don't want a guy who's just gonna carry them like babies all day. Nobody wants to feel it. I mean, yeah, some people may say they like the idea, but you want to be able to have a voice of your own. You want to be able to have your own opinion. You want to be able to do things. And a real woman is going to want a real man. You want a real man, then that means you're both on the same wave. And that's how you do it. To me, that's what relationship is all about. Is making sure you balance each other out. It doesn't have to be financial. You got to come in with what you're good at.
So, LA, it sounds like
You were right.
you find that in the statement as it is, happy wife, happy life, that there's no balance there.
No, because it calls out one side. It calls out one side. Happy wife, happy life. Who's supposed to be the one who provides that?
Making the woman happy.
But then who's looking up for the guy?
It never said. It didn't say husband should make the wife happy. You know, that's not what the thing says. It says happy wife, happy life. So all the independent stuff that you're speaking of with regarding your sisters,
It's still
like they know how to make themselves happy. So chances are the relationship will be great likewise because they know how to flourish, right?
Mm-hmm.
It didn't say husband has to make the wife happy. It says happy wife, happy life. Happy wife. However she decides to find her happiness, however you decide to facilitate that happiness, it's on you guys. It didn't say the guy has to be the one to make her happy.
Yeah.
I didn't see that
you're
anywhere,
right about
but
that.
hey.
No, you're right.
You're right about
It
that.
doesn't say that. And that's why I said no. That's why I said hell no to it.
I wanted to get you guys' take on
It didn't.
on some things that some of our real ones wanted to share with regards to this topic. So one comment from a brethren said, "Happy life, no wife."
What?
I'm sorry.
Happy wife, no life.
Hold on. Let me make sure.
So what's he trying to say?
Or happy
The
life,
more
no
he
wife.
loves his wife,
He said,
the more
"Happy life, comma, no wife. Dot, dot, dot.
No.
Yeah, no,
No
wife.
wife?
And then he has some emoji like thinking about it. He goes, think about it. LOL. All right. Next man said something I agree with. He goes, you can't be a wife without a husband. So what happened to the husband? That's his response to happy wife, happy life. I gotta say, I agree with that. You can't be a wife without a husband. And if you're my wife, you can't be my wife without me as a husband. So that, what happened to the husband? I get what he's saying on that. Next one said, oh, this one's terrible. This one's terrible. Next one said, you leave them, you gotta pay for them still. F that. It's cheaper to find a worker.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Sounds like that guy.
This is the real one.
Never getting married.
This is what some of the real ones had to say on this topic. I kind of just had some people submit some things to me here. Oh, the last one here is not so bad. If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else, right? So
That's true.
shout out to our real ones
That's 100.
those comments there. Any of those stood out to you guys at all?
Last one.
Yeah, the last one.
It's 100% truth. Because I mean, to love somebody, you must love yourself. Like love starts at home. If it's not in your heart, don't go looking for one, because then you just get be heartbroken the whole time.
Yeah, like how you gonna be happy? Like, if you ain't happy, how you gonna please somebody else?
Yeah, because the problem is too many people try to find love and they don't have love within what they do, that they end up finding nothing. You can't expect others to fill your life. But you gotta go to them. Right? If your life is not fulfilled, don't try to look for it in somebody else. Then it's not gonna work.
But don't you feel
That's
like
how problems start.
that's the whole point of someone else, is to get that balance?
Well, yes, it's the whole point of somebody. The thing is that the whole point of somebody else is to work together, not for them to constantly pick you up. Because if their job is to pick you up, that's not your partner. That's your caretaker.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Too many people get into a relationship with that mindset of a caretaker. Some women hook up with men looking for a caretaker, and then the new word is sugar daddy. And some men do the same thing. They do that, and then there's
Sugar
some men
mama.
with some women because they want that. So at the end of the day, if you're with somebody because you have problems, you want them to kind of help fix it. That's a caretaker. That's not a partner. What we're talking about is somebody's partner. Your partner is equal to. They're not less than, nor are they greater than.
Yeah. You see, and that's what BlackHat is jumping to when he says choose the right one, right? So to him, as someone who's chosen the right one, all he has left to do now, while enjoying the embrace of living a happy life from having a happy wife, is hard.
Just hitting the cruise, bro.
It's hard.
Just hitting the cruise.
I get
Hitting the cruise button.
that part, though. Hear me? That part, but
I get what he's saying still.
Like before that.
Oh, well, we're not going to talk about before, man.
Let's just stop right now. Let's just stop right now. We in the present. What's in the past is the past.
Exactly. We're not about this before nothing.
Yeah.
I need someone to speak on that other dude's comment though about happy with no wife, happy life. I need someone to comment on that.
Those are normally
man
bad
said-
things, man.
That
Happy
guy's on
life,
his own.
no wife. Think about it. LOL.
Right. What he's saying.
I mean, I can kind of guess what he's trying to say, because he's looking at it. There's two ways you can look at it. Generally, if most of the time, right? If you're, let's say you're a person with a certain status, right? Let's say as a guy, let's say you make a certain amount of, like, let's think of like celebrity, like athletes. If you make a lot of money, right? You go pick up the wrong girl, the wrong wife. Things go wrong. You end up losing half. You lose half everything you worked hard for.
Yep.
So for him to make that comment, he's trying to say, happy life, no wife. Because he can think about it. Because he's trying to say that everything he owns belongs to him. Selfish mind. You're coming from a selfish place.
So does that tie into what that other person said about paying for stuff?
But basically, that's what it is. So these guys are making these comments based on the financial side of it. We're talking about it. We're not talking about it from a financial side. We're talking about it from an actual emotional.
But if that's the case, right? Doesn't everybody have a price?
Of course.
So then they have a point then, no?
They have a point because that's what works for them. See, most people that make a certain normally that kind of statement, I think, to me,
Comes from a
that
single
statement makes-
person that's probably never planning to get married.
That's what it,
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like.
The man them are protecting their money,
And
bro.
to
They
me-
can't hate on that. The man them are
He
protecting
said,
their
it's
money.
true.
he's always gonna have a gal, but he's not gonna get married.
Well, this is the thing. And
You gotta make that plural, bro.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
no,
singular.
Man,
It's not singular.
people that normally people that normally think that way, to make a certain amount of money done in a certain level of the bracket. And those type of people, they don't want a wife. They want options. You know,
They just don't
But
like
you
to
know,
share.
you make the most money. The most most people that you can refer to who
exactly.
make a lot of money in life, they're always married.
not really. They actually, most of them are not. Most guys that make that kind of money, most of them are not. They're not fully locked down. I mean, they have somebody at home,
No, but
they have.
okay, you're gonna go to athletes, right? What about the people who own the team
Yeah.
that these athletes
Yeah,
play
no,
on?
but even people that own the
That's
team,
the real money,
yeah, people that
and they're married.
people that own the team, not a lot. Most of them, they have options. That's what it is. They just,
Yeah,
they have
no,
people that
hold
use
on.
their
I mean,
face.
you can be married with options, too,
Yeah.
but I'm just
Hold
saying.
on.
I'm just saying.
We're never asked you anything about the option. What the man talks about is that there's someone at home.
Yeah.
There's a balance.
They gotta have. I mean, it's just a natural thing.
Man's basically saying you leave them, you gotta pay.
Oh.
You love them, you gotta pay. You leave them, you gotta pay.
You know
Either
what?
way,
You
you
know
gotta
what
pay.
though? Yeah,
That is the truth, boy.
but it's the truth, no?
That is the truth.
That is the truth.
Oh, okay.
That's why, like the BlackHat said, you have to choose the right one. So there is no of that breaking
Yeah,
up.
it is
But
what
that's
it
my
is.
whole point: is even if you choose the right one, there's a chance you could still break up.
Well, the after pay part does not matter if you're gonna break
You
up
have
or
to
not. The after
You're
pay
paying
part
no
is
matter
you
what.
have to pay. You're paying no
Regardless.
matter what.
Yo,
Regardless.
no
that's
matter what.
that's the thing you gotta
You're
understand.
paying.
For real, no matter what you pay.
It's true.
Yeah, you're paid. Like, you know, but is it worth it though? That's the thing. If you think it's worth it, then continue paying.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's just that simple. Right? No one can ever tell you they're in a relationship and it doesn't cost
Hell
them
no.
anything.
That's true.
Yo, time is money.
There you go.
Time itself is money. Time wastes no man. Right? You always have time is forever moving forward. So every time you spend with that person, it'll be worth it. If not, then stop wasting your time and move on.
Straight.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sometimes I get real,
They need to hear it. Trust me.
but it's a. I mean, yeah, the conversation itself is always going to be somewhat biased. For a group of guys talking, we're talking from a guy's perspective, and women are going to look at it from a different perspective, right? But at the end of the day, I just think that the saying itself also kind of makes
The
it
one
biased
side of it.
because it's linked to one side of it, and even though it's not saying it has to be the guy or whatever it is,
Just the way it's
implied. Yeah, it's implied that
quoted.
the guy, because you say happy wife, once you say wife,
Yeah,
that means
whoever
it
is
must
making
be- it should be a husband.
the husband could be male or female.
So the husband could be a male or a female.
Whoever is
No?
It could be-
choosing
I
to be
mean,
the wife. That person's part in this, or that person's role in this play, is to be happy. The other person, their role
That's it.
is to fuck off.
It's to make sure the other
What if
person's
it's
happy.
what if it's two wives, bro? What if it's
Well,
That's
then
why
the women
this
have forgotten
thing
to
should
do that.
change.
If it's two wives, then hold on. Let me answer this one.
Yo.
If it's two wives in this situation, what it's saying is this, right? Those two wives, their role is to just be happy, right? The person whose
Listen.
role it is,
Whenever things go bad, what's the first thing we always say? Save the women and kids.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about the guy.
Yeah.
Don't save the guy. Let the guy go to war and get his head blown.
I think that's just
Save
so
the women and
natural
kids.
because, especially as
Yeah.
a guy growing up, like you're always like, yo, I got to make sure my mom do good.
Exactly.
So I think that's where that stems from.
Yeah, and every successful person does that. You know, all these successful athletes, stuff like that. When they get big. What's the first thing they do? I love you, mom. You used to say the word "I love you, mom." They never hear the word "I love you, dad." Not saying that they don't love their dad, but it's not a
Yeah.
common thing. You know, because as a guy, you're always taught that you always gotta love. Every guy, no matter how tough they are. You bring your mom into conversation.
Yeah, you got to be
Yeah,
very
that's
careful.
true.
It's a different.
You
It's a
got to be
different way
very
of looking
careful
at.
how you
It's a
how
different
you
way of
bring
looking
up
at things.
mom to for real
Exactly.
when you're sitting there.
One of the most biggest insults. The mother is called by a bad word. MF. You never hear the word DF. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You will always hear the MF because the MF it hurts more because as a guy when you hear that it means you failed. You didn't do a good job of protecting your
For
mom
real.
because that should never come out of the next man's mouth. You know
That's true. You can smack it back in there, bro.
exactly. So
Stupid mofo.
So I think
Exactly.
so yeah. So that's why I think that word like happy wife, happy life kind of links that whole terminology.
Oh man. But because you can't
real.
get into this world unless it's through a woman.
Exactly.
Anyway. So
So-
you got to respect.
And that's
You
where
got to just appreciate and respect the female.
and that's why I think the happy wife, happy life, it's kind of like a sublet of it because it's like you're saying, take care of your woman because you know what? That's the mother of the kids. That'll make you protect.
Yep.
You know, again, going back to my childhood, growing up with sisters, I was constantly telling my dad, listen, at the end of the day, if I'm not here, you are the man of the house. You have to take care of your sister. He never went to my sisters and said, hey, girls, listen, you have to take care of your brother. That never was ever said. Always, you have to take care of your sister. It didn't matter that I had older ones.
Okay, but let me ask you this.
You have to take
Let me
care of
ask
your
you
sister.
this.
And it was
When
drilled
he
in my
gave
head.
you that responsibility, right? When you went to your sisters, younger or older, medium, anywhere you want to go, right? Did any of them ever give you any of the respect at all?
Oh, of course not. Listen, my sisters laughed at me. They looked at me and be like, what are you doing? I mean, at the end of the day, listen, I mean, all jokes aside, they know that I would do, I thought I would do anything. They know that.
Yeah.
But, you
That's
know,
probably because you're so
Because they
skinny.
could take him.
They could take you.
They could take him.
But
hey,
They could take him.
I've seen LA
back
defend
then,
his
yeah,
sisters,
man.
though. I've seen
Yo.
LA defend his sisters.
Yeah.
He went crazy.
back
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna
yo,
say. He
I'm
went
telling you,
nuts.
man.
He went nuts.
Yo, I'm just gonna say
He was
this,
looking
man.
for a knife.
The Incredible Hulk. Yeah, the Incredible Hulk comes out of people.
I've never seen LA like that. So someone was trying to get at his sister, and he defended his sister. Yeah, he changed.
Yeah, man.
He changed.
Listen, I almost got suspended for one of my sisters, man. I mean, at the end of the day, back then, yeah,
You know what you
I
were,
was slim, but listen, slim
You
or
were
not,
slim?
Slim
you're
thug.
angry.
All right. There's no MAGA thug. So we have to say slim thug.
But now, I'm like oversized. Freaking put that back down. Man.
Shut up. You're not fat.
I'm not fat.
He says
That's
oversized.
his way of
I'm
putting
not
that.
fat,
That's
but
when
it's
you
not
know you
slim.
don't have nothing to worry about, but you just want to put it out there. You know, you find cute little words like oversized.
Oh man,
Yeah.
yo, I'm
Like the man could finally see his belly button.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I'm telling you. So Black Hat, you feel like we're getting it as it relates to like the happy wife, happy life. When we say, just to be clear, that we could agree with you on the wife being happy and it being the responsibility of us being the husband to make the wife happy, and the understanding that choosing the right wife, that wife that's correct for you, the right one for you, she's going to be doing her thing to make the husband happy, right? Like, I get that part, the unsaid, but our problem is a lot of people can't read between the lines. A lot of people can't read, bro. All this stuff that you're telling people to read. Yeah, all this.
They're so basic. It's so basic.
Nursery rhymes.
All this.
Exactly.
We're
gonna call it mumble rap. We're gonna call it mumble
all
rap.
this basic stuff that you're expecting people to apply in terms of, picking the right one. Like, people are out here going with what they're going. So like,
Whatever.
They better
Whatever you
learn.
can get.
Yeah,
telling you.
their pocket gonna feel it if they don't.
right? And then you know what? Sometimes as well too,
But
it could also, like, if we speak about it on the real, we could also help those situations where it could go right, but they just had the wrong information. you know, or the wrong understanding. So I feel like
Oh yeah.
with that in mind, like looking at it, happy wife, happy life, I just can't rock with it. I can't rock.
You just explained it.
No.
You explained it so well, and now you just took a detour. Like what? Like how
He
does
just
that
wants
even
the
work?
saying to be
Just not
changed.
rocking with the same. Bro.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, like
Just say it
like,
different.
words matter. Words matter, right? Because
Words
here's the
matter.
thing. If you know what couldn't be implied, like if I said if there was a saying that was like, you know what, learn how to make a sandwich, have a good life.
oh,
You know what I mean? Look how basic I try to make it a sandwich. Okay, so
but the
why did
thing
you
was already
force me?
basic.
Why couldn't you imply all the good stuff you wanted other people to imply? You know what I mean? That's why I just show you. Hold on. That's why words
I feel
matter.
like
You get me, LA?
I feel like
Like if you can't say it that way and the words then don't matter, then happy wife, happy life. Like you could have. It's like you could have chose to say something about me, but you didn't. You're
Yeah.
just supposed to be happy.
again, man, that happy wife, happy life, the selfish mindset that make make guys get what they want to do from their female companion, because it just made you say that, hey, if I just make her smile, I get something out of it. And it's a false way to look at it. In a relationship, you should be happy understanding how you do it. But that's just the way it is. Just happy life, happy wife, happy life. Literally saying that I just want to do will keep her mouth shut and I will get what I want. Done. And I think that's how most people came across. And that's how most people look at it. Most guys that say that line, or most guys that kind of imply that line, look at them carefully, they're actually not happy. They're just settling.
No, you know what? It's funny you said that. It's funny you said that because most people who use that line is right before they do something really
Right.
messed up.
Yeah.
Like,
Darren
like no,
Jackson.
seriously,
They
they
say
always
that in the,
happy,
right?
yeah, or they're saying it under their voice. They're like happy wife,
Yeah,
happy
when they need
life,
a
and they're
reminder,
just
they
doing
need
what they're about to
that
do
shot,
anyways,
shot in
right?
the heart.
Yeah.
But
You know?
yeah,
So LA, you're right. It's
exactly, right?
exactly when
But
they don't want to do something. So let me ask you guys this then. So this is the reason why I'm so against it, right? Like, and not against the wife being happy, but just against the phrasing of that, right? I do believe that words matter. So my question to you guys is this: what effect do you think that this has on our community, right? Like, and by that I mean like BlackHat, the experience that you just shared a moment ago, right? About being raised from strong women, right? So in our community, we come from strong women. We know about the strong woman, right? Like making her happy, like making sure she gets what she wants. We know and get things done. We know the strong woman. Even within those examples that we share, it's absent the examples of the strong man. So it's like when we think of happy wife, happy life, what effects do you think that that has? What do you think we're communicating to our community if we tell them to like follow this belief? Just as
well, okay, that's well put, right? But if you really think about it, like this happy wife, happy life thing, like I don't think it really affects us, to be honest with you. At the end of the day, like how often, like I've never used that in my household. Like no one that I'm around, none of the guys that I'm around ever really uses that term anyhow, right? So literally, that's just something that's
But
out there, like
uh,
because
we've
we
heard it.
know within ourselves, like you know it, I know it, like we know that we're taking care of our family anyhow. We're taking care of our household, so we know how to make ourselves happy. We know how to make our wives happy. We try to make our family happy. So we don't need like any specific phrase to enhance what we're already doing.
And that's
because we know what we have to do
continue to
and we know
come
what
from.
we go
That's what
through
I'm
in
saying.
order to make that happen. Right? Yeah. That happy wife, happy
just
life
the
is just a
same.
conversation. It's not really a you know,
It's a saying like many other sayings, and every saying has like, depends on who says it.
Yeah.
And when said.
You believe in what you
guys
believe
believe
in.
that the community doesn't really follow this?
Yeah, we will never know the root of it.
Definitely not.
I think our community has a different understanding of certain things. Like we know the struggles that both our women and the men went through. And because of that, because of the struggles that we went through, I mean, historically, we don't have the idea of happiness comes from both ends.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Really
we always
good
have to look
point.
at it that
Yeah.
way. I mean, we support our women, know the struggle that, and just like how our women support us because they know that we went through. I mean, it would be selfish if we think that none of us had to struggle. So that comment was really never something that was said in the community. Our community, we already know what we've been through.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a comment that was made to our community that never had such a thing, that never had
Yeah,
to
it
worry
doesn't.
about certain
It doesn't
things.
impact us that much. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and you have to find out and I'm saying in Africa that we don't really say the word wife was something that you hear from, like, I never heard from like grandparents. Like, they knew who their partner. It's just that concept. Like, once you it was like your life part. That's just the way they look at it. It was like,
Or your better half.
your better
That's what
half.
I've always
No, that's
heard.
type of thing. So by using words like that, it made them look like that they not less than. Yeah. And they all had their responsibilities. If the man went out to go work and had to take care of the house, that's how they divided up. It doesn't mean that they looked at one less than. It's that everybody had their responsibility. True. And if you did it right, it worked. Yes, this modern day, everything kind of changed a little bit, but a lot of people stay together a lot longer. My grandparents and some of like even my parents and like my parents' friends. Like, if you look at what they did, some of them are married for like 30, 40, like 40, 50 years. This generation, you make it past 5 and it's a celebration. Like, literally, it's a celebration. Make it past 5 and it's a celebration.
But divorce wasn't an option for the people before.
No, back then, exactly. Divorce was not an option. They worked things out, like how bad it got. We look at them and be like, put up with that. Because they knew their purpose. Everybody knew what they had to do. Whether it was like, what we see it as being wrong, our perception makes us think that what they're doing is wrong. But what if what we were doing was wrong? We became too, as people advanced and we thought we got smarter, what really happened is that we actually got dumb. The way that we didn't learn to accept, we don't know how to actually have constructive argument or anything. We couldn't do it anymore. Like, when people got mad, they were quick to get out. I don't like
that's it. Lock off.
Everything you said, nothing. We're done. Like, look at it right now. Like, somebody goes says the wrong thing. Like, people can dig up something that you said 5 years ago and disregard everything you've done today. That's the
Everybody
generation.
Wants to be LeBron, bro.
Yeah, that's the generation we live in right now. And a good example is, let's talk about like Kevin Hart. Remember Kevin Hart, the whole Emmy, whatever it is? But he was supposed to do like the Globe Award. I don't know what it was, one of those sports shows. And they went and pulled up a tape, a comic skit that he did 10 years ago. He made a comment about his own family as a joke, because back then comedy was actually comedy. It wasn't modified. People took that and disregarded everything that the guy did. All his charity, all the support he's done, how many people he's given like opportunities to do movies and stuff like that. All of a sudden, Kevin Hart is this terrible guy. And to me, I can't rock with him. And I think that's what generation, that's why this happy wife, happy life thing I can't rock with, because it's disregarding everything that you stand for. Person, you have to just think about one person.
But hold up. Sorry, though, LA. Wait. So what you trying to say? People shouldn't be held accountable for what they did in the past?
No, listen, you can be held accountable, but it should not disregard towards the present. Like, listen, in my past, here's the thing. Before grade 9, I used to swear. In grade 9, I stopped swearing. I don't know if you guys noticed. It was a decision I made. Now, somebody goes back to my grade 8 days and says, I remember when you said this, that. That's not me now. Where were you the last?
Some of us
for the other 20 years of my life? You weren't there.
People grow.
So how far back should you be held accountable for?
You should never. Saying, or? If you want to be held accountable, go as far back as yesterday.
What? You're right, bro. You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, bro. So
it sounds crazy. It sounds crazy. But here's my thing: if somebody did something so wrong,
this is another episode.
No,
nah, take that back.
So you need
no, I'm not gonna take it back. Because here's my
this guy gone mad.
No, here's my reason.
My reason trying to hold people accountable for 100 years for that slavery shit that they be doing. And you're talking about yesterday? Man, you been yo, take
No,
that back.
see, okay. If we talk about the whole slavery thing, the reason why people hold us accountable is because it's still going on. It's not gone. It's rooted in our system. We can't let it.
That's
It's
true.
not gone.
That's
why
true,
we
but
still
I'm
come
still
at it.
not doing that
We
turn the other
come at
cheek stuff that you're on over
But
here.
my thing is that
Other-
no,
Yeah,
no.
You said worse than
I
that.
never said turn the other. I never said
Yesterday.
that. No, I
said
never said
yesterday.
I said, no. The question was
Yeah,
how far
blasphemous
back.
batch.
No. The question I was asking was how far back do we go? I said go back as yesterday. The reason I said that is because growing up, one time my dad used to always tell me is that if you have a problem with somebody, deal with it right there and then. Because if you don't deal with it right there and then, that means you accept it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. Hold on.
If you accept,
I agree with that.
If you accept it, no, I'm just saying.
I agree with that. In the sense that, like, deal with your problem when the problem presents it, right? Like
right away.
I get with that. I get with that, right? There's also sometimes when the time the problem presents itself may not be the best time to deal with the problem right now. You might be outnumbered with the problem right now. So you may have to look at the problem and remind the problem that the next time you run into the problem, you're going to deal with the problem.
There's going to be a problem.
You guys are talking about your history. I can hear some history here. I know the history you guys are talking about here.
Listen, this is getting personal.
Yeah, I know. Like,
no, I'm just trying to
these guys just went really, really, really dark. They just went
happy wife, happy life.
Directly.
I'm just trying to show a man that, like, there'll be other. No one in particular.
No, it wasn't a person. It's no one in particular, fam. Remember that. Remember, so you literally just said we're just trying to show up. Like, no, it's just a generic conversation. Okay.
Times to which, yes, though you prefer to deal with it right now, you might not get to deal with right now the way you would like to deal with right now. Right? So right now, right now
depends on the situation.
Right? Now here's the thing that you did do, LA. You did make a decision right then and there that something's gonna get done. You get me? You did, so you're right. You did make a decision right away. Done.
Yeah.
You just decided that acting on the decision may not be best right now.
Sure.
Sure, it's funny.
Sometimes you gotta project that.
So what you're telling me is that, you gotta, if you're planning something, if you're just strategy something that's fine. But I'm saying that if somebody says something and it bothers you let it go.
Where's the let it go?
You literally let it go, right? And then like a week and a half later, you're like, yo, you remember that problem that you said last week? It bothered me so bad, blah, blah, blah. At that point, the person can care less because like, why don't you come then? That's how I'm coming. I'm coming in a way that sometimes when you go back to somebody, like, let's go back to relationships. We're talking about happy wife, happy life. I want to get off topic. Especially when you're dealing with, like, your better half, you talk to half. If they do something you don't like, and I'm gonna say this: if a woman does something, let's take a woman does something you don't like. As a guy, you do that to yourself, and then a week later, be like, "Yo, hey, remember when you made that comment? Blah blah blah. Or you did this. I didn't like it. Whatever it is." You know what it becomes? It becomes a bigger problem because it's like, why didn't you tell me then? How come? If you knew that this wasn't good, why didn't you say this?
What if it made her happy?
Exactly. Hold on, here's the question.
Nobody's gonna be happy.
What if what she did made herself happy?
What if you never said nothing?
She took your credit card and bought new shoes.
No, you saw the bill.
And then you saw the bill. Zach saw the bill, and you're like, hey, what? But that's what I'm saying. At some point, you have to deal with the problem right there and then. Let it go.
No, but what Prez is saying, it makes sense, right? What if you can't deal with it right then and there?
Listen, when it comes to dealing with I'm talking about a relationship standpoint. Dealing with your partner, dealing with a relationship.
No,
you should be able to deal with it right there and there.
There's a time and place for everything.
Sometimes there's a time and place for everything.
There's a time and a place.
Where's the time? When is the time? When is the place?
Give a situation. Give a situation.
Give me a situation where you would say that's time not to argue. Right
You're out for dinner, for example.
Yeah.
You're out for dinner. Like, you know what I mean? Let's say a work event, and something happens at the work that the wife did or the husband did, or boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever. and you're unhappy with it, you can't drag the person aside and be like, yo, da 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 da. You know
Why
what I
not?
mean? What if you just wait until after the party or until you got
Exactly.
home?
I was gonna.
Why
Or
not?
you're
That's
too
the other
hangry, so
option.
you don't want to respond right then and there. Because, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure you're calm first so you can approach
Well,
it properly. And
Yeah,
think
before you
it
say
through.
something.
Like,
Who's-
before you say something.
Well, here's my question. If you're too
Okay.
angry to talk to
Okay. Hold
somebody,
on. Hold
you
on.
shouldn't be
Hold
with
on. Okay. LA, here's the thing.
No, I mean, it sounds ridiculous, and I know it sounds ridiculous. But here's my thing: you should feel comfortable, no matter what, talk to your partner about anything at any time, and they should understand that. Listen, if I'm with you, and if I'm gone out with my partner, we're out in public, and he does something that I think is embarrassing or it's gonna make you look stupid, especially at a work event, I'm gonna pull her aside. I'm gonna say, "Listen, talk." We'll go aside. We'll be like, "Listen, you gotta be."
But what if you can't like pull her aside? Like what if you're at your work thing and she does it while there's like someone else speaking on a speech or something?
No, and that's fine. But see, at some point you have to get up. Wait, you guys can still talk. No matter where you are, no matter where you go, you gotta find time to talk. You know why? Because every environment of people. Listen, you should have a thing with your partner.
Time and place, bro. Time and place.
But see, this is the problem. This is the problem. People take things, they see stuff, and then they hold it in. They harbor it inside of you. When you hold things inside of you like that, all you're doing is creating more anger and frustration. And you get resentment. And the whole night is screwed up. The whole night is messed up because everything you do from that whole night is you being fake.
No matter what.
Like he's not being I think no matter what. If you have to deal with something, you just have to calm down first.
LA, hold on. What we're trying to say is that there are times, right? Like what you're saying is that no matter what, at all times, no matter, there's no possibility, there's no scenario to where the best circumstances, you can always wait till late, but to where the best circumstances is to make that decision to wait till later. Like chooses to make that decision to go till later. You can't envision a scenario where the best decision would be to do that. Because if that's the case, then that says that you shouldn't be together because of this and that. Like, hey, what about if someone's just so angry that right now it could be you or the other person?
If somebody said,
and they just don't want to do it out loud. They want to do it in their own personal.
Right? Like I know for myself.
No.
Straight up, and you guys know me. I'm the name of the podcast is direct. Like, there's a reason why we're some direct people. If you know me personally, trust me. Like, you know how I feel about it. You know.
You're gonna know.
Right?
No, and that's fine. But see, that becomes more of an anger issue where you have to learn.
But hold on,
you can still be mad at somebody
calling an anger issue, right? Just, could be something where someone individual recognizes that they're having an anger moment, right? And rather than make it into an issue, they decided, you know what? I recognize within myself that I'm not in the place where I can converse this out, and we're going to be able to have a constructive dialogue to where we can disagree, but we're going to be able to do it in a way like, I know that I'm not in that place right now. So because I'm not in that place right now, the best thing for me to do, the most mature thing for me to do in this situation is to not choose to take it on right now. It is something I'm going to address, but I'm not going to address it right now. LA, you're saying that you can't see a scenario where that would be the right decision to make, that would improve that doing that shows that you shouldn't be together. Like, that's nonsense, bro.
See, and again, get why you would say that. I get why you would say that. To the
don't have to my
average mind.
My mind is short.
No, but hear me out. Hear me out though. When I make that comment, here's my thing. Okay, the way I want you to think the way I'm thinking. Just picture it. My thing is this. Okay, if I have a problem, if me and you have a problem, you're doing something that I think is really bothering me. Okay, and it's causing a problem with me. That means I have to sacrifice my happiness, shut that up until later on. Now, sometimes when that later on comes up, it could become violent. I'm saying I'm gonna be violent, but the problem is that people that hold things in, when they do let it out, eventually it blows up, and it can go completely sideways. To avoid that, what you do is that you talk things out in a mature way. Remember, two adults they can have difference of opinion and still act mature. It's up to you on your level of maturity. If you think that you can't control yourself, then yeah, of course, that's where you would say, you know what, to hold this back, do anything until we get home, and I'll blow
Yeah, it just depends on the person.
Fine. Some people can do that because some people don't have trust themselves to in a way where they can have an actual conversation with somebody, even though it's not everything. Think about it.
Yeah.
Is there ever a good time, right? No. Not when you find with somebody you care about.
Yeah.
If it's somebody you care about, there's never a good time. So why do people say that? Oh, let's wait until later. Talk about it later.
Because things usually,
never later.
people usually say things always should happen behind closed doors. So it's like, if you're arguing with someone, you shouldn't, most people feel you shouldn't do it in public. Like you should go do it in your own personal space, but
closed door, not in
it's
front
hard.
of other people. No,
Not doing it in front of other people. I say you excuse yourself.
But what if you can't?
You can always do it. Everywhere you go, you can get out. Doesn't matter where nobody's bound unless they handcuff you. You can always just doesn't matter what event. Listen, even at work, if you're tired at work, but get up and say, I gotta go to washroom, or I need some time alone. Have breaks, you have lunch. There's always going to be an opportunity for you to do some questions that you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. It's normal. Most people are okay with that. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying, for me, I'd rather deal with the problem right there and then instead of putting on a fake smile and like I'm happy,
I guess
knowing that I'm pissed off.
So what do you do in LA? Are you like whispering, saying, "Yo, babe, I didn't like that. We got to talk later." Like, what are you doing?
No. It's just no. I mean, the person that for me, I'm with you would know when I'm mad. You would know it. Then you'd be like, "Yo, what's wrong?" I'd be like, "You know why I'm mad?" And we would be like, "Well, certain things need to change, or we need to. If it's my fault, then yeah, let me know." I'm like, if I do something wrong, let me know right then. Don't let me know. I can't help. Let me know that I'm doing something wrong. I can make that decision, fix it or not. If I don't fix it, then you know that I have a problem. I don't care. But if I do fix it, then hopefully it makes you happy for the rest of the night. I just believe in the idea that should always address any problem head on. Hold things in. Come first. Like, that's just my opinion. Again, you don't have to do it. It's my opinion, and that's just the way I see it. That's why I said, for me, I don't think the right way to do things. Because if you can't talk to somebody that you're with, if you can't be free with them, if you can't be yourself, that's not like. And I'll go back to what BlackHat said.
So that's a level of compromise that you're unwilling to make.
Because the wrong one, I'm not gonna compromise my happiness because I'm trying to make sure you're happy. Both have to be happy.
But hold on, isn't that part of being in a relationship? Like, now you have me sounding like I'm trying to defend the other side. Like, and I want to be clear, I'm not. Happy wife, happy life is not signing up for that. However, what I'm talking about, when you just said, LA, about that you're unwilling to sacrifice your happiness or any of your happiness. I don't remember which exactly. To sacrifice your happiness for someone else. That is happy wife, happy life. Like, what about when it's a choice between something you want, something she wants, or there's something she wants that you really don't want, that's going to piss you off or annoy you, bother you, something that's going to make you unhappy, but it's going to make her happy, right? What you're saying is you're unwilling to make that sacrifice for your unhappiness, for you to be unhappy to make her happy. No, I hope.
I think you're trying to back up.
Okay, so then I think you.
What I'm trying to say here's the what I'm trying to say is that if something that I'm not happy about, that's wrong, but to make her happy, then the first thing is I have a problem, because that's not a wife. That's a dictator.
She's a dictator.
And that in itself is the problem, because you should. Because the thing that if you're my partner, you're my wife, you should never put me in a position where I'm going to be uncomfortable. Just like how I would never put you in a position where you're going to be uncomfortable. You get what I'm saying? So if she says to me something where I think is completely like asinine, then yeah, I'm sorry, it's not going to work. I'm not going to compromise. because I'm not gonna compromise my pride or my happiness just so you can have.
So she can't blame it on the alcohol.
For like a second. Yeah, you can't blame it on the alcohol. Can't blame it on the alcohol. That's it, and that's the thing. I think too many people, I guess, mainly men, they feel like they have to do this, like they have to give in, because society has always said that men always like everything's a man. Just by default, men have this guilt on them that everything is on them. So when it comes to dealing with a man and a woman, the guy must always get this submissive like mode where you have to say yes to everything he said, because historically you were always the one that would get your way, and you never got your way at all. Well, no, times change. It changed. Got better. Got smarter. But
do you believe that men are out here thinking like that, though? What you
most men are like that. Most men think that. Most men literally that have to do everything to make wife.
What about you? Hold on.
No matter what, doesn't matter how they look at it.
You agree with that? 420? You think that that's the kind of mentality that most men are out here? And it's not to say that there aren't any men that like this, but do you think most men are out here thinking like that?
Well, I don't know exactly what the percentage is, but there are some men that do think like that. As if like, oh, I know my girl's at work. If I don't do such and such, by the time she gets home, we're going to be like, there's going to be a fight. You know what I mean? That's how some men think.
All right. Sorry, I'm trying to be serious here with you, but yeah, that's why you said dictator. I thought you said dictator earlier, LA. I'm like, this guy is so exaggerated. But when 420 said like, it felt like it reminded me of like being a kid back in the day, and mom was coming home, and I knew I didn't clean up. I didn't do the laundry. I know there's gonna be problems. Yo,
this topic will get me in trouble so many ways.
So LA, hold on. Why is it that you think that most men are like? It seems like you believe that most men are simps out here.
Absolutely, I do believe. I think especially this generation. This generation does everything can come across as understanding, as caring, as like basically they try to. When they do something like that, they say he's in touch with his feminine side. That's an insult to any guy. That comment, that's an insult to guy. No, it's true. People accept that, right? Most guys walk around and accept that. Oh, when a guy does anything that's remotely,
you said, why can't that be a masculine side?
You know, like deep. Why can't it? Yeah, exactly. Why can't it be a masculine? Because it's the idea that it's this narrative that word has meaning that also we right. This feminine side. Yeah. No, I'm in touch with me. It's who I am. That's me. I made that comment. I am that person. I'm going to happen. That's why I said that most guys right have that of it's like what so they play this whole I'm the guilty. I'm always the guilty. So now I'm gonna try to become unguilty. I don't want to be the guilty. So anything she says goes. Anything they do says go. I can't challenge a woman because women have done so many things, which is true. We recognize that, but real man recognizes that solution. Solution isn't to just give in.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a solution. The problem is that there's a saying that if you want to feed, and I'm gonna use a man because the saying was made with a male name. If you want to feed a man, you don't give him the fish. Teach him how to. If you give a man a fish, feed him for the day.
The problem is some men don't want to learn how to fish.
Yeah, they don't want to learn, and that's why when some men are dealing with women, trying to give them that instant gratification.
Yeah.
So by doing that, you have to do it all the time. But if you come up with a solution, and both of you come up with something that works for both of you,
and that's never going to be a problem. You're speaking of the balance right there.
Exactly. That's the balance I'm trying to speak of. That it comes across, and sometimes when you hear it comes across in arrogant or narcissistic, whatever. But it's just that people just refuse to believe it because it's unpopular to hear these things. It's not a cool idea to hear somebody say, "Hey, let's think about let's balance each other out." Let's figure out a way to make it work. No one wants to hear that. what can you do for me? What do I get out of it? That's the society we live in right now. What's in it? That's where the happy life, happy wife, happy life sounds like. It's like what's in it for me?
Yeah, it's like one-sided.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. It feels like it's just one-sided. It's just, and obviously it's not that it's saying that that's all that matters, but that's the only thing that matters that it speaks about, right? And it just kind of puts it out there, the message, in a kind of a quiet but assuming way, where it's just your thing is to work to make her happy and her thing is to be happy. That's it. That's the only things that we speak about.
Yeah. No, I agree. I know. I mean,
No, I think we're good, man.
Add on to that.
I think we're good. I think we've covered it.
Well, all in all, just to say to all you ladies out there, everything I said, mine, I grew up with 4 sisters. I'm the only boy.
Women.
I have no issues with any women. I do find that, but I'm going to also say there are bad men, there are bad women. So the idea is finding balance. Balance in any relationship. If the two don't see eye to eye, you're gonna have problems. No matter what, you're gonna have problems. And I think we just need to understand that. So both parties accept that, there will be some progress. Can't accept it. One person thinks that they're right, the other person is completely wrong. You're gonna always have these problems that are constantly going across the revolving door. It doesn't stop. It keeps coming back around. Relationships are about building and
communication is key.
That's it. Every day.
Okay.
Every day is
very true. Absolutely. All right. So what we want to do now is in this segment, we want to give some advice to the men on how to do exactly what you said in terms of choosing the right wife. I figure rather than debate happy wife, happy life, because we're gonna go around circles. You agree? I disagree. LA, you say you disagree?
Oh, yeah. I mean, wasn't it obvious?
And 420?
Yeah, I disagree.
And 420 disagree. All right? So what we can agree on is choosing the right wife.
Yes.
Right? Now, if you choose the right wife, then you're going to have a happy life.
So that's the new saying. Cool.
That's the new saying. Choose the right wife, have a happy life.
There you go.
There you go. You see? That's not putting any pressure on the wife. You see, they can't come at me. They can't come at me. Choose the right wife, have a happy life. They can't come at us no way. Because
they'll come at you. They'll come at you.
I know they will. I'm ready. Like, what up?
The comment's gonna be, what do you mean by choose the right wife? But why can't she choose the right husband?
That just doesn't happen.
And I'll just say, if you've been chosen by the right wife, have a happy life.
There you go. That's what I want to hear. Right? Put that on a t-shirt. You've been chosen by the right wife.
Chosen
have a happy life. Yo, put that on a t-shirt. Oh man, the next t-shirt going hashtag you've been chosen.
So BlackHat, what are some tips in terms of making to look out for to choose the right one? Some of the little subtles.
Wow. Okay, for one, you got to make reference back to what Ellen said earlier. To make you happy, you got to know what makes yourself happy prior to finding that right person, and then just go from there. But for the most part, you know what I mean? The simple thing, like you got to find that who can compromise for one. That's a big part, and someone who is motivated, like ambitious, motivated, like tools you find someone who has that type of ambition, that type of drive, so you guys comfort together.
Yeah.
Fact. So that also means that if you're a low ambition, low driven person, go look for some other people's time to waste that are low ambition, low driven.
Yeah, you guys be miserable together.
There you go.
Look at that. Directly just helped you guys. That's a definite good tip. I think that people can take that one. In LA, you don't have anything in terms of what's a good tip in terms of choosing the right wife. These are some direct tips that we're gonna give.
I was gonna let 420 go. I need to calm myself down.
Holy.
You're in touch with your feminine side.
See, there you go.
There it is.
I said it. I said it.
Holy.
Nah, for me, it's. I feel like the main thing is communication. So like, if you have like a partner and they don't want to listen, or like they just don't ever take the time to take you in, then it's just not going to work. So like, you know what I mean? Like, if you guys both communicate, I think that's going to make things work like a lot better. Like, you know what I mean?
Okay, so communication.
Yeah, communication is key.
Mm-hmm. Wow, I agree with communication as well too. I feel like we're putting together a good list. It's a good list. LA, you look like you have a laundry list of things.
No, I don't. Here's the thing. I'm gonna say I agree with BlackHat and 420. I mean, both needs to be in your. You need to have those two qualities in order to find the right person. I think the idea of finding the right person is making sure it's not about trying to look for the perfect person, because that's just a recipe for failure. Is to find someone that you're compatible with. Like, being compatible with someone does not mean they have to like everything you like, but they also, like, I think BlackHat said, you have to be willing to compromise. You got to compromise with each other. Mm-hmm. You know, yeah. And that's what makes relationships strong. Is having two different people. You have people who are too much alike, just look like a bunch of robots, and you don't progress anywhere. So definitely communication will play a part in it, and also just knowing that you should be comfortable. Comfort is key when it comes to relationship. If you're not comfortable, talk to some person, or even being around the person. If you feel that you have to hide stuff, or, you know, not be yourself, then you know you're wrong. Mm-hmm. You know,
don't be fake.
My thing is, the best way to find the right person, think of them as your good friends. Like how we all can talk about anything, and nobody takes it in any shape or form. Like, you don't take anything person, if you know how the person is. It's the same way you look at your wife. You ever hear this concept that your wife is your best friend?
Yeah.
I take that literally. There's actually truth behind it.
True.
The moment you separate your wife from your best friend, you treat them. And with your best friends, you tend to be more free with them. Yeah. Whereas your wife, there's this undertone that you have to be standing.
Oh man. That's a great point.
So yeah. You have to look at your wife. Just be your best friend. If you can be your best friend, if you can't see her as your best friend, you're in the wrong thing.
Wow.
Situation.
Yeah, I think I agree with those three as well, man. I mean, BlackHat, in terms of compromise, yeah, definitely. Money, communication, and LA, you're saying that it's about like
best friend, yeah.
Best friend, right? If I add anything to that, I would just say like something that's important, that you guys have the same vision. You'll find that out through the communication. It'll be your best friend, so it makes it easier to share. You guys can compromise because you're making that plan together, right? So if you tie it all in and you really kind of have one plan, something where you guys communicate and understand that what you're working towards or you're working for, you have those things in mind that are in common, that you're aiming for, those goals. I think like that's another kind of thing in terms of choosing the right wife. So how do you guys feel about our directly list or directly tips for choosing the right wife?
I think it's good. They better follow that.
Look at that. See? I'm telling you, like we keep it real. It's not just because like it's men. I think women will agree with our tips that we're giving as well for finding a wife. I don't think it's anything that slander women.
No.
So if we say we say bonafide upon happy wife, happy life. Right?
Bonnet.
Right.
3 to 1, huh? 4?
3 to 1.
But we agree with what you said.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't worry, you're not hurting my feelings, bro. You're not hurting my feelings.
No, it's not. BlackHat, you know why we have to make it clear that we agree with? It's not about hurting your feelings. Like, it's for ratings. Yeah, we gotta make sure that we keep feelings in
in consideration, right? Because shout out to the real ones. Shout out to our female audience, our female listeners, right?
Yeah, big ups yourself.
Big up yourself, right? They make up about right now 62, just over 60% of our listenership, right? So,
They are here for me.
I mean,
that's it. Put it out there.
I mean,
let's just be honest.
You know what? Why don't we do, ladies? Let's just be honest. Just let them know you're here for Pred. Anyhow,
okay.
Right? And to the 36%, which is LA's Bridget. You know the man them.
Oh man, I'm gonna leave that alone.
I'm playing.
They got jokes, hey? They got jokes.
I'm playing. Respect to the man them. Respect to the red them. Then we have 2% non-binary. So that makes up our directly audience. And you know what? 420. We got to shout out. We got to shout out our people in where was it that LA was out here dissing up the other day?
Oh, not Tanzania. I don't even know where that person
Yeah,
is
it was our listener in India.
In India.
Yeah. In Tanzania. Yeah, big up.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah, you're right. In Tanzania. Right, and our Kenyan listener. Right.
Yeah, we gotta big up all you guys. Keep listening though.
Keep listening. We have our listeners in Jamaica as well. Keep listening.
Yeah. Buy a caddy and a juice and sit down and listen.
Done. We have some listeners in Barbados as well. I think they deal with the fly fish and they
yeah.
So shout out to their fly fish and their people in the United States. Shout out to you for getting rid of Trump.
That bum.
Right. And of course our Canadian audience.
Yo, 420 is the best hype man. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like it's like a Migos thing just in the background.
Yo, we just did a sick rundown, I lie. And
I can't.
Shout out to LA for not insulting our Indian listenership, but we don't have no listeners in India. Upon you, bro.
Yeah, man.
We're global, man. Worldwide.
We're global. We're worldwide. So so it wasn't just about your feelings, BlackHat. LA is out here like really saying some things that he at times it seems like he wants to really get under some of our listeners' skin. Because he says facts don't care about feelings, and people are in their feelings.
I agree with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Pillow talk is the new public talk.
Yeah, tell Paul Pierce.
Yeah. Pillow talk is now public talk. That's what they do, man. Everybody wants to let out their problems.
Listen, Paul Pierce is also the most sought after person right now when it comes to what he used to do with broadcasting. So yeah, offers out there.
He's good, man. He's good.
He's good.
This man's in the Hall of Fame. He's all right.
You know what?
Yeah.
Now he can really do commentary with his name, The Truth. Get out here. Go say it how you really feel now, Pierce. So, all right. That's another episode of Directly. You guys got, some bonus. We gave you some Directly tips, right? What we believe should replace the happy wife, happy life, right? At a 3-1 vote, we voted it down. Our boy BlackHat was a believer in the happy wife, happy life, but he had some reasons that, needed to be assumed after making the right choice. So we figured, you know what? Why not listen to what BlackHat has to say, right? And choose the right wife. So we believe from the Directly Pod that choosing the right wife will lead to a happy life, right? And
Yep.
you guys, we could agree on that.
Yeah, I agree.
We agree.
Amen, brother.
What about you, BlackHat? You're rocking with us.
Oh, so far so good.
You see how unfair BlackHat is being though in the situation. Right? when it's rocking with us on this one, he wants to make it completely clear it's only to what it is that has been stated.
Yeah.
So far, this is good. Any other implication that it might mean, he's not rocking. Right? But he wants us to rock with happy wife, happy life. Nah, bro. So that's it for another episode of Directly. A dose of the real, kicking it with some real. Our boy 20.
Yeah. You know what it is. Directly.
Yeah. 420, you want to shout out some of your real ones that's been like hitting you up and like let it know how they feel about the show.
Yeah, man. Shout out to the man them, first of all. Shout out to the supporters. Everyone who's listening, big up yourself.
All right. And what about you, LA Rockstar?
Yo, listen. First thing is first. Still listen to my voice. Good job. That's it. Be thankful that you hear. That's great. That's great.
Wow.
I just want to say, it's your pleasure to have you talk. So just remember that. And we will definitely continue doing this. And I won't stop giving you guys and gracing you guys with my greatness. And then, yeah, that's how it is, man. We do what we do. Rockstar, LA, let's do it up.
Yo,
do it up.
I feel
Who's
so
this
bad,
guy?
BlackHat. Like I feel so bad coming to you right now.
Nah, bro. You already came to me there. I was first. I've named Fed up on that. So yeah, all is
All is well. Yeah.
All is well.
Shout out to our real ones. Don't forget to follow us on IG at The Directly Pod.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, like, and share. Yeah, and someone got to us and was asking a question in terms of how to get at us in terms of sponsorship. So either at The Directly Pod to get at us through the gram, or email at directlypodcast@gmail.com. All right. Yo, shout out to you guys, man. Thank you guys again.
Bless.
Bless up.
Easy.
Right? And bless up to the real ones that take the time to like, share, subscribe, and push the message. Bonfire, pun, happy wife, happy life. We say, choose the right wife and you'll have
a happy life.